move from army to corporate life. So how did you decide first? So you left army quite early. What was the reason for that, and how did corporate life happen?
I cannot clear engineering, I cannot do well in medicals, I cannot do anything. अब क्या बनूंगा मुझे दूर दूर तक दिख नहीं रहा था कुछ कि क्या बनना चाहिए मुझसे.
So how different it is than your army days in terms of leading a troop of army and leading a troop of corporates?
They don't realize what an army officer is capable of. You fit an army officer into anything, he'll do the best.
And when you left army at a major rank, what was the income like? How much money you used to get there?
I have invested. I realized it very late, but then I started investing whatever I could do. The houses give me a fixed source of income for monthly maintenance, whatever expenses would be.
India में आज भी majority of people don't support a job option or a career option, which I would say rather is army, because the kind of life what people see there, like the hardships what people see, so family generally वो support नहीं करती है, क्योंकि लंबा time like 20 years of your career generally you need to be outside of your house, family not seeing you or either seeing you once in a year, and financially as well you are not as well off, I would rather say, as you are as you are any businessman or corporate. But today I have a person with me who has fought all these odds and has worked on insurgency as well as line of control operations, and has retired at a major rank with army. So I would like to welcome Mr. Shubhendu. Mr. Shubhendu, welcome on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me over here.
So Mr. Shubhendu has worked with army for 6 years, and after that he has switched his career to corporate, and he has a very successful career in corporate as well, and he already has 12 years of work experience. So we would love to cover his journey in terms of overall life journey, overall how you have switched to corporate after army, and being successful at both the things. So welcome Shubhendu first of all. And to start with, let's talk about your early days, the motivation, and what was the factor, because generally I never even thought of army, or I would rather say all the classmates I had in my school, like 100 odd students, none of them had. So we had kind of a thought only in terms of a kind of passion, like people used to answer, I want to be a pilot, I want to be army guy or something, but we never tried because that was never even an option. So what was the motivation for you, and how did you decide to go into army?
So it's been an interesting journey across from the day I decided and convinced myself that okay, this is the career that I want to choose for. So there's a background to it. Of course, I grew up in the northeastern states of the country. My father was a teacher. He was in northeast in Arunachal Pradesh. I've always seen the army officers, army vehicles stopping for us. You never used to get a vehicle there. Very difficult. Stand for long hours and hours. I'm talking about journey from 90s to 98 when I was studying there as a student. No road communication, very rare roads available. No vehicles flying on the road. Wait for hours. Only vehicle that you can get to see the army vehicle. You request to stop and it stops. Respectful people. Putting on those stars on the uniform and yet very polite. So we can call them people with power, yet a gentleman, subtle, respectful. So all that would have thought of somebody in uniform was that. Well, when I moved to the to the this was Arunachal Pradesh, and when I moved to Orissa, where I belong to, I had a different view of the other services. 12th did not go well for me. I could not score much marks because of the transition from the CBSE to the state board, and probably lack of awareness. There's a lot of understanding struggles that I had to understanding syllabus. I got a lot of misguidance, so probably I ended up scoring lesser marks. I thought the life was over because everybody went into engineering and medicals, and that was the only thing that my parents aspired for. And everybody in my locality, they like only vouch for his engineering and medical. अब लगा जिंदगी खत्म हो गई. So जिंदगी खत्म हो गई अब क्या करें? So my mother, she was very proactive. उन्होंने मेरे graduation में admission करवा दिया. So by the time I was going coaching to coaching. Before this phase between the getting marks and getting these lesser marks and getting admitted to BSc, I thought I'll apply for a lot of examination because that is what the arts and commerce student used to do. Science student always used to go for engineering and medicals. So first thing somebody told me was Air Force. Navy, and but that was at the entry level, soldier level.
Hmm.
One such exam I went was metric entry recruitment, MER examination.
Okay.
That is only you just need to be a soldier. You just need to pass 10, but you need to write the written examination. Go to the center. They conduct the open examinations. First clear the written, and after that the medicals and all of that will happen. Physicals will happen. I went there. I found the question very tough. I failed miserably. I realized यार ये भी नहीं होना मेरे से तो मैं तो soldier ही नहीं बन पाऊंगा. So leave it. I cannot clear engineering. I cannot do well in medicals. I cannot do anything. This is अब क्या बनूंगा? So मुझे दूर दूर तक दिख नहीं रहा था कुछ कि क्या बनना चाहिए मुझसे. What is the career path that I should choose from? I realized कि मेरा mathematics और science काफी weak है because when I was studying in Northeast, I didn't have a teacher in 9th and 10th.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the condition. That is the harsh reality, and I didn't have a teacher.
but then still you passed.
Then still also I passed. I mean, thanks.
That itself is an achievement.
Yeah, that was an achievement. You won't believe I scored 56 marks in mathematics in 10th, and that was the highest in the district. So well, I laugh at it when I think of the past. But then I said, यार करना क्या है अब लाइफ में? तो I used to refer to those newspapers. वहाँ पे जिमोलॉजी वो फलाना वो सब निकलता था कि एस्ट्रोलॉजी जिमोलॉजी में डिप्लोमा के लिए you can have to pay something and then you go to Chennai or something for reading. मैंने अप्लाई कर दिया. वहाँ से एक दो चिट्ठी आ गई मेरे पास. जिमोलॉजी क्या होता है भाई? वही जेम्स स्टोन पर. अब ये भी नहीं पता क्या करेंगे. ये भी मुश्किल लग रहा है मुझे. ये क्या करूंगा मैं इसमें? सिक्योरिटी गार्ड ही बनना पड़ेगा लग रहा है. So that was a harsh reality, harsh realization. I said यार मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाऊंगा.
So you did course in gemology?
नहीं, I didn't go there.
Okay.
I didn't go there. Actually, I dropped the plan. But मतलब यार जिंदगी को क्या हो गया है? I mean, सब लोग जाने सब चले गए. Friends, there are no friends.
And that was at the age of?
I was just 17 years.
18, yeah,
17, 18
18
years. सब दोस्त चले गए, कोई भी नहीं है वहाँ पर. Then I went to the college. Admission हो गया था तो मैंने
Into BSc.
BSc पढ़ा. कुछ दिन गया था. I had different views. I don't know where this motivation came from. Probably I'll say it to badminton. I was a district champion in badminton. And nobody had taught me. Actually, I used to play good because I had a lot of interest in that. So the coach, who was a national player, he spotted me one day. He said, "I'll give you coaching free of cost. But there are two things that you need to abide by. One, you have to be on time. If it's 6 o'clock, you have to reach by 5:50. Second, whatever I tell you, you have to follow that. Third, you have to have at least you have to be at the cost of the shuttle." So my routine was like this. Morning I used to wake up 5:50 sharp. I need to be at the ground for the physical workouts, running, sprinting. All of that is part of the training. It's very tough training, by the way. It's football and badminton has the highest level of endurance trainings. So I went there. If you're late, then more punishment. So I could never dare to be late. That's the first thing. Second thing was what actually changed, and now I am trying. I know exactly when you ask this question. It actually hit me now correctly. So badminton, when I was playing, I didn't have a trick. I was just playing. I was winning matches, but not good. So my coach made me play with dignity, and I failed miserably. He said, "Now you see, others are better than you. Don't try to be comfortable saying that." I realized, yes, I'm not. He said, "You have to change the entire badminton, whatever you learn, forget that. What? Yes. From holding the racket to playing the shots, he completely changed it.
So new approach basically.
New approach, new style, everything dropped. We just forget, let it go." And I realized I was not even playing 1% of what I was playing that time. Like I had become like somebody who had just learned to play something. He said, "ऐसे तो मैं बाहर जाऊंगा, कुछ नहीं खेल पाऊंगा." He said, "Relax. I am not making you play any matches." He gave me ragda for 3 months. 3, 4 months, 6 months of training. Continuously field workouts. In the court, he will tell me the techniques. यही करना है. Game नहीं खेलना है. Shots मारो तो shots है. Toss मारो toss. Drop है तो drop है. it just went into and lot of shadows. Shadowing is a part of the badminton where your mobility and flexibility is taken, and how much you do in a minute is what tests your endurance. All of that made me do. After 4 or 5 months, he made me play the first match. It was the senior guy.
So you defeated the senior guy.
I defeated the senior guy. And I was like, what? How come I defeated him? I said, no. So it's a big learning for me. I said, seriously, there's nothing to lose. And he said, yeah, you have nothing to lose. There was a statement. See, you have nothing to lose. When he told me to change my style and approach, he said, you have nothing to lose. We're all seniors, nothing to lose. So I said, yeah, I've lost everything, whatever I'm supposed to. And, here also the badminton, my approach has changed. I've changed my mindset. There's nothing to lose from here. I said, okay. Then what I should do? He said, be bindas. एक ख्याल आया मन में कि आज से अब मैं बन जाऊंगा बिंदास. I don't care what is going to come out. I really don't fear anything now in life. And I said, अब टाइम है शुरू से पढ़ने का. अब ये उसके साथ एक चैलेंज और भी आ गया. ये शटल का कॉस्ट 650 रुपए. मेरे घर में पॉकेट मनी 100 रुपए मिलता था. ये पैसे कहाँ से लाऊं? तो ये पैसे लाने के लिए अगेन खाने के लिए चॉकलेट चाहिए, मुझे पसंद है. कॉफी नहीं आई थी मार्केट में सन के वो नेस्केफे या उसका जो क्या नाम है सन वाला क्या है सन नेस्केफे का ही है आई थिंक इज. सो इट केम अप. कॉफी पीने एक दिन पिया था, बड़ा अच्छा लगा था. पैसे लाऊं कहाँ से? तो आई स्टार्टेड गिविंग ट्यूशंस. सबसे पहले तो मैंने एलकेजी के 2 बच्चों को पढ़ाया. तो वहां से 350 और 250 ऐसा करके 500 रुपए 600 रुपए आ गए. 600 तो आ गए. अब इससे तो बैडमिंटन का भी पूरा नहीं हो रहा, क्या करूं? मैंने बोला ठीक है, ये मिला के 700 रुपए हो गए. ये मैनेज हो गया इनिशियल कुछ मंथ्स. मैंने बोला नथिंग टू लूज नाउ, सब तो जा चुका है, पढ़ता हूँ वापस. तो मैंने क्लास 1 से, बिलीव मी नॉट, मैं क्लास 1 के बुक्स उठाए एलकेजी से. एक्चुअली मैंने सारा पढ़ना शुरू किया.
During your graduation days.
During my graduation days, I started literally studying from LKG class 1 से लेके class 10, 11, 12 सारी बुक्स पढ़ने. It happened over a period of 1 year. I completed the course syllabus. When I completed, I became super confident. I now knew that what I was missing. I was missing on the fundamentals because I didn't have the right teachers to guide me, or maybe I didn't study well. Nobody to blame here. Situations were there, and probably I was also not up to the mark. I got a different positivity in myself. I said, now I should start earning a little now. Because it's also about my sustenance. I should be bindas, the word exactly.
After your graduation?
During graduation.
During graduation.
This is my second year of graduation, and I started teaching 2+2 first year students.
Okay.
Who were very mediocre, not able to understand what the teachers were trying to do.
Got it.
I said, I got a good handsome money for them. That time I think I won 1,000 rupees from both of them. So 1,000 rupees was a good booster for me. The moment I started earning this 1,000 rupees and additional those 500 rupees, 1500 rupees जेब में आने लगे. Every month I go and buy a t-shirt for myself. वो आता था उस टाइम पे एक brand I forget that. I used to go and buy that. That used to come for 250 rupees. I used to feel so proud of myself. अपने पैसे से मैं टी-शर्ट खरीदी. And हर दिन जाता था. I used to go. I used to have that cup of coffee. I used to sip it with बड़े चाव से मैं पीता था उसको. ये कॉफी में अपने पैसे. Then ट्यूशन से आने के टाइम पे 2 मंच के चॉकलेट्स अपने लिए, एक छोटी बहन के लिए. My sister is 8 years older than me. She is a software engineer. Based out of Gurgaon. तो एक मंच उसके लिए, एक मंच मेरे. I used to feel that pride in myself. देखो तुम्हारे लिए क्या है. मतलब वो वाला जो फीलिंग था. These were the small little happiness that boosted my confidence a lot. He said, what is the career now? I said I should do well in my graduation, at least my 12th got, and this motivation came up in the graduation में अच्छा करना है, and मैं टेंशन ही लेने वाला हूँ. But I made a routine for myself. Morning उठना, workout करना, वापस आकर पढ़ाई करना. For 1 hour ज़्यादा नहीं पढ़ता था. I was very selective. कम पढ़ूंगा, अच्छे से पढ़ूंगा. Effective study. 1 hour study, effective study. Overall entire day में 5 घंटे 4 घंटे पढ़ता. Effective study. When I say effective, it's effective. I used to read aloud. दिमाग, concentration, focus, everything was. मैंने newspaper became a part of my life. the Times of India. I adored it so much that I would not leave anything in the newspaper. I used to get stronger every day with vocabularies. I used to get stronger with understanding their knowledge. And newspaper used to provide a plethora of information, not only about general knowledge but also science, sports, everything. was
So
talked
basically, 3 years of your graduation day was, I would rather say, change maker for
about.
you.
They change makeup for me.
Started with badminton,
Yes.
you build on your fundamentals, and
Exactly.
then that discipline
The
probably.
discipline came into place. I became more focused, and then I went to do my. I cleared the plastic engineering examination. I was supposed to join a post graduation. I didn't go there. Rather, I
So
went.
how did you move to army then?
Okay, then I went to the that still that point in time army never got conceived in my brain. When I went to Orissa University of Agricultural Technology to pursue a master's in bioinformatics. It was very much in demand, 30 seats for the entire batch. You'd have MBBS officers coming, MBBS, BDS, you'd have pharmaceutical guys, you have physics, chemistry, maths. All people from different streams would apply and get through the examinations. We made it through. So that's what I was part of it. I studied there. After studying there, I realized that it's boring काम है ये. Because it was a mix of computation. You have to learn everything on software. Like I was learning programming, C, C++, Java, Oracle, .NET, Linux, everything. साथ में bio में you have everything. Microbiology, genetic engineering, biochemistry. So it is a computation modeling of things by learning the टेक्निकल पार्ट ऑफ इट. तो आप कंप्यूटर सीखोगे उसको मॉडलिंग करोगे, ड्रग मॉडलिंग करो, ये कर रहे हो और उसको फिर यू आल्सो हैव लैब्स टू व्हाट इज दिस. And I realized you don't have teachers actually, proper teachers, even if it is a very prestigious college, because nobody was from that background. Just initially नया start हुआ था. You don't have competent people to teach you. मैं कहाँ आ गया? जिंदगी तो और खराब हो जाएगी. Because that was a discussion and people were from good backgrounds.
Yeah.
They were toppers in their colleges who had subscribed for the MBBS doctors who had left and they didn't pursue their further career came to this bioinformatics field. Of course, today if I talk about everybody is a scientist, everybody's 90% जनता is बाहर बैठे हुए हैं, foreign countries में, अमेरिका से लेकर Germany से Japan, all in good universities and they are into research. But तब ऐसा था कि क्या है?
That wasn't your calling that time.
Then I was not calling. I said यार ऐसे जिंदगी खराब हो जाएगी. I said, then there is a time when one of my old friends was in NCC. He visited me. He visited my hostel. He said, यार मैं frustrated हो चुका हूँ. ये 10वीं बार हो गया आर्मी के एग्जाम देने. हो नहीं रहा है. मैंने ऐसा क्या हो रहा है? What is that challenge? पता नहीं यार ये सब तो अच्छा कर रहा हूँ. Everything I am doing. यार वो दिखता भी इतना अच्छा है, मतलब handsome है और मतलब खट्टा he is very strong. कमांड है वॉइस में एनसीसी पैरेड करके आया था रिपब्लिक डे में कंटिंजेंट लीड किया है. ये कमी कहाँ हो रही है? लग रहा है रिटन में कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहा हूँ मैं. आई एम नॉट एबल टू क्लियर माय साइकोलॉजिकल राउंड. एसएसबी मेरे सर्विस सिलेक्शन बोर्ड मेरा क्लियर हुआ. अच्छा ऐसा होता है तो तू ट्राई करना एक बार. मैं कैसे कुछ ना आते. तो ही गेव मी समथिंग टू राइट, इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट, एंड आई रोट समथिंग. ही सेड इन प्योर दोस्त वाला जो लैंग्वेज यूज करके, ये तूने क्या लिख दिया? ऐसा तो मैं 10 साल से लिख नहीं पा रहा हूँ. बोला हाँ. बोला यार तुझे देना चाहिए एग्जामिनेशन. बोला पागल है मैं कहाँ तू कहाँ है मुझे पता भी नहीं. बोला नहीं यार सीरियसली यू हैव टू गिव दिस एग्जामिनेशन. बोला अच्छा दे तू. बोला हाँ यू शुड गिव. बोला कि आज लास्ट डेट है. दैट गाय वेंट टू द पोस्ट ऑफिस टू गेट माय फॉर्म.
Nice.
बोला यार तू भर इसको. एंड आई फिल्ड दैट फॉर्म. Coincidence as a matter, but still I was not very serious. भर तो दिया, डाल दिया उसने. 4-5 दिन की बात है. One of the guy who was a senior guy in HR in one of the top MNCs now. That guy met me in the badminton court. This is a university badminton जो court होता है वहाँ पे. And I think I was injured something. He said he was in graduation. He was in DSc Life Science or something. And I was master's. So बोले कि भैया खेलोगे? And he was the champion university.
Oh.
तो मैंने बोला यार I'm not in a situation में तो मूव भी नहीं कर पा रहा. खेलो. फिर भी खेलो थोड़ा. आप तो खेल लेते हैं. I played with him. He knew that I was limping and not limping. The moment the match started and I picked up the momentum, even if I was not able to, I was diving, I was jumping, I was doing everything. what is possible, not giving up. He was a very good player. And at the end, I defeated him. He was like unbelievable. किसी ने नहीं हराया मुझे यहाँ पे. But you, with this state, you are able to do this. मतलब, your determination is very strong. You should be in the army. Yeah. Okay.
So basically, stars were connecting.
It does a connecting. He said, you should be in the army. मतलब क्या बात कर रहा है? मैं बिल्कुल बोल रहा हूँ, you should be in the army. You have all the qualities what the army also should have. Oh, मैंने तो फॉर्म भरवा एक बंदे ने. मैंने भाई, I should make you meet people. So interesting part is in the university, agriculture university, there are people agriculture में बहुत कम लोग जाते हैं. पढ़ते तो हैं agriculture, veterinary, forestry सब कुछ पढ़ते हैं. But very lesser chunk of it, I'd say 30-40% people go into agriculture.
Okay.
Group बन जाते हैं सब. Then he told, देखो ये सब group है. There are people preparing for civil services, there are people preparing for defense services, there are people preparing for banking services. बाकी जनता बच गई वो agriculture, forestry और veterinary में जाएंगे. I said, अच्छा, तो उसने मुझे 2-3 लोगों से मिलाया for preparing. And there's an officer also was visiting that time who was also उन्हीं का batch का था. I met him, मुझे अच्छा लगा थोड़ा. Good, it's something that I could do. At the moment I started studying, I realized that I was very good at few things. Few things I was not good at. I already rectified my mistake in the graduation. So written was a workout, easy था मेरे लिए.
Yeah.
I cleared the written. तो लाखों लोग देते हैं, 10-12 हजार रिटर्न क्लियर करते हैं, तो इट वाज न्यूज़पेपर में आ जाता है. मोमेंट यू सी इन इंडियन पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, कंबाइंड डिफेंस सर्विसेज, आपका नाम आ जाता है. इट इज अ सेंस ऑफ अचीवमेंट. ट्रस्ट मी, आई वाज सो हैप्पी. पहली बार मतलब खबर टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में छपता है और आपके जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट न्यूज़ में छप जाता है हमेशा. रिटर्न क्लियर हो गया, समथिंग बोला परफॉर्म रिटर्न क्लियर हो गया तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. अब तो मुझे इंटरव्यू और एसएसबी की सर्विस सिलेक्शन बोर्ड प्रिपेयर करनी पड़ेगी. Somebody told me, उन्हें नहीं पता, जो friend, the first friend, he said there is a person who guides you, अच्छी training देते हैं, he's very good, you should go to him. मैंने वो तो अलग जगह रहते हैं, he's almost.
So basically, your friend who wasn't able to clear in like
Yeah.
years, you did it in the first
I
attempt.
did in the first attempt. He was very happy, ऐसे कैसे कर दिया तूने पहले attempt अभी. तो मैंने लगा अरे हो गया. He said यार you should now go for coaching. मतलब कोचिंग आने के लिए 40-50 किलोमीटर दूर है, अब कैसे जाऊंगा. उस टाइम गाड़ी का भी समस्या भी थी और पैसे भी बहुत लगते थे. तो देन ही सेड नाउ तो तुम्हें बताने की क्या जरूरत है, यू नो इट बेटर. हाँ मैं तो करके रहूंगा, आई विल क्लियर इट एनी हाउ. इतना तक आ गया हूं तो पूरा अदर रास्ता तो खत्म कर. सो आई कॉल्ड माय मॉम, आई कॉल्ड माय पापा ने छोड़ दिया ऐसे भी.
So they were supportive of you joining army or
No,
not?
initially not.
Okay.
My mom was the one, I told her the pros and cons. She was okay initially, and she gave me the money for the coaching. So I went to coaching. Coaching गया, coaching में जाके it was difficult task for me. I had to 4-5 ऑटो लाइन बस 2-3 चेंज करके मैं पहुंचता था. My journey used to start at morning 5 o'clock. मैं घर से निकलूंगा 4 बजे, उठ के रनिंग करूंगा. That was the routine that he had set for me. पहले you have to run 4-5 kilometers, run करके आके नहा धो के 5:30 you leave. 6 o'clock वाली बस ऑटो पकड़ के उनके घर पहुंचो 9 बजे.
Yeah.
So by the time I used to read, he used to tell me, okay, cadet, and he was a psychologist and he was in the army earlier.
Okay.
So he used to sit on. R.C. Das, I tried to meet him after that. I could not meet him. I don't know whether he is there or not, but I am grateful to him. This gentleman. Cadet, yes sir. I used to, ऊपर में तो मुझे डुप्लेक्स में थे. So you should read the newspaper at a tone that I should be able to hear it out loudly.
Oh.
Okay. है ना? It should be very clear. You should read like a news reader. Yes, sir. And he used to sip a cup of coffee and I used to read there. So 1 hour of exercise used to be reading the newspapers at a tone and pitch that he would understand and he would hear. The moment my tone and pitch is down, he would say, cadet, आवाज तुम्हारी कम आई. Yes, sir. And so I used to read along. And after that, he used to give me a lot of questions to solve for, lot of the questions on reasonings and all of that, because that is all question being asked during the examination,
Yeah.
5 days of course of selection. So reasoning, vocabulary, बहुत सारी चीज़, situations, reactions, lot of solving, problem solving that I used to do for hours together. Lunch फिर आधा घंटा break मिलता था, फिर खा पी के. I used to go back in the evening. जाकर I used to attend coachings because मुझे कॉलेज का भी पढ़ाई करना.
Yeah.
So वहाँ पे जाके .NET, SQL वो पढ़ रहा हूँ. By the time I used to complete at 10:30, 11 तक हॉस्टल पहुँचूंगा वापस 11 बजे. तो खाना खत्म, हॉस्टल का खाना नहीं मिलता था. तो दाल और दाल में क्या बचा था कंकड़ के साथ में। तो मुझे किसी ने बताया था, आई यूज्ड टू पिक अप लॉट ऑफ गुड ज्ञान फ्रॉम पीपल एक्चुअली दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम, कि दाल में सबसे ज्यादा ताकत होता है, प्रोटीन होता है, कुछ नहीं तो दाल पी जाओ। तो मैं उस छन्नी लेके दाल पूरे 4-5
So
ग्लास,
dinner used to be dal.
दाल most of the time is दाल। तो दाल 4-5 ग्लास छन्नी लेके पी जाओ पूरा ग्लास, भूखा रहता था तो चावल भी नहीं बचा रहता था हॉस्टल में, सब्जी तो
So
छोड़ दो।
basically, for preparing for the interview itself, you were, I think, being ready for getting into army.
Exactly. So I the entire phase of this preparation has been really today if I look back, really feel good about it. तो वापस जाके फिर पढ़ो, कुछ भी करो, खाते पीते उठते बैठते, यू हैव बुक्स। ऑटो में पढ़ रहा हूँ, कैब में भी पढ़ रहा हूँ, कैब तो छोड़ो, मतलब लाइन बस में भी पढ़ रहा हूँ, हर जगह मैं पढ़ ही रहा हूँ। There is not a point in time that my mind is away from all of this. So much focus and attention. तो ये सब होते होते फिर पहुंचो, फिर सुबह उठो, रोज का ये almost 6-7 months, 8 months, and then आ गया मेरा interview SSB. I went to SSB, first attempt.
Super.
Amazing because आपको हर दिन पास करना पड़ता है, पहले के 2 दिन होते हैं स्क्रीनिंग वोट में 90% जनता आउट हो जाती है।
Okay.
2 दिन तक मेरा सिलेक्शन हो गया,
Oh,
उसके
nice.
बाद फिर नेक्स्ट 3 डेज, उसके 3 दिन के बाद में फिर 95% जनता आउट हो जाती है।
Okay.
थोड़े
So
से
basically 5% of people get selected.
फाइनली कुल मिला के 250-300 लोग ही सिलेक्ट होंगे
अच्छा।
आउट ऑफ द लैक्स ऑफ पीपल हु अप्लाइड। वो 10-12 हजार रिटर्न में, उसके बाद 200-250 लोग सिलेक्ट होंगे।
And you got selected in
I
the
got
first.
selected first में, सब कुछ हो गया
And
मेरा।
that must have been, I think, motivation as well for parents as well to support
That was
afterwards.
yeah, that was like and it was very मतलब मैं भी बिलीव नहीं कर रहा, हो गया मेरा सिलेक्शन एंड इट वाज लाइक हो गया। फिर रिटर्न 5 दिन का मेडिकल्स होता है, उसके बाद फिर मेडिकल भी मेरा हो गया सब। इट वाज लाइक समथिंग, भगवान ने तो बहुत ज्यादा ही मेहरबान हो गए हैं। सो व्हेन आई लुक बैक आई रियलाइज ये जो जर्नी में करके आया हूं पिछले 1.5 साल से, या ग्रेजुएशन से एक्चुअली दैट्स द मेन
Yeah, that
फाउंडेशन जो
was the
बना है,
foundation.
it has helped me immensely and first attempt everything is clear.
Yeah.
There was a lot of confidence. I go back to my college selection. I have looked at a different way now. Everybody is respecting me here.
Of
We thought we
course,
get
this is
officer ban
achievement
jayega.
actually.
It is a big achievement for families, for friends, and it was very satisfying for me. यार एक सोल्जर नहीं कर पा रहा था मैं, अभी आज मैं एक ऑफिसर बन रहा
Yeah.
हूँ मैं।
Nice.
It was very
From
satisfying.
being no one to a army officer.
Yes, and so मेरा बोल देना सोसाइटी में एक ओहदा बढ़ गया। People were respecting me. Teachers were good with me. Everything happened.
So you are from Odisha, but what was your joining like? Army में अपने first जगह.
So initially, so we have an option to choose when you
Okay.
when you sign up for the army.
Okay.
You go for a permanent commission or a short service commission.
Okay.
So I opted for short service commission because that is what I was told.
So short service when you say how like minimum what duration?
So अभी तो 14 years compulsory हो गया है। उस टाइम में था कि ट्रेनिंग के बाद आपको 5 साल तो करना ही करना है।
Okay.
उसके बाद you can take a call
Okay.
whether you want to continue or you want to quit. So मैंने somebody suggested me कि you should go for short service, so I opted for short service. तो short service काम किया। शॉर्ट सर्विस की ट्रेनिंग ओटी चेन्नई में होती है।
Okay.
जो पीसी की ट्रेनिंग होती है आईएमए देहरादून में होती है।
Okay.
I went to the चेन्नई for a year of training, very hard training. चेन्नई की क्लाइमेट अच्छी नहीं होती है and it is considered one of the toughest.
For you, it must have been a very big change, like
Very
from
big
basic.
change, very big change. It was a very difficult phase of life, and particularly you don't come from the army background, कुछ पता नहीं होता है, and people who are from the army background or they belong to places where they seen army and out.
Yeah.
उनके खानदान में कोई ना कोई तो है, कुछ तो पता होता है। हमें तो कुछ भी नहीं पता था कि भाई आर्मी क्या होता है। हमने बस देखा था लोग यूनिफॉर्म पहन के घूम रहे हैं, अच्छे लग रहे हैं।
So how was that change? Because something see जाने के पहले you always have कि यार मतलब ये ऐसा होता होगा ऐसा तो होगा, but was actual that first year मतलब
नहीं,
difficult?
very painful. मैं 1 महीने का फोन करने को नहीं मिलता था।
Okay.
जाते ही तो मेरे अच्छे गर्लफ्रेंड थे।
कभी ऐसा लगता था कि I should run back and go home?
बहुत बार हुआ है इनिशियली। ट्रेनिंग के टाइम तो आदमी ऐसे ही सोचता है बिकॉज खाने को नहीं मिलता। नॉट दैट खाना नहीं है,
Okay.
they teach you etiquettes,
Okay.
right? So with all these hardships, you go back to the dining hall to eat something. Your seniors are there or your no,
अच्छा, so you can't sit with them.
you sit with them.
Okay.
You are also upcoming officer. You sit with them. You are a gentleman cadet there.
Okay.
You're sitting next to them. They are going to watch you, observe you, how you eat, how you hold
Oh.
your spoon. कैसे पानी पी रहे हो, कितना खा रहे हो, what the quantity you are taking, and you are so hungry. I want to gallop and I just want to eat everything. So initial जो hunger था ना कि तुरंत से खा जाओ पूरा, and they observe you and they make you drink water and vomit out
Oh.
and then make you roll on that top of it. Otherwise, a different kind of punishment that you get into. So basically, they break you like anything, but good for us.
Yeah,
So
I think that is
basically
where you build on, like
they
that
build on
strength,
everything.
endurance.
But I remember I was so hungry because मैं घर से खाता पीता घर से आया था.
Hmm.
My mom had always like खाने में बहुत मरते हैं मेरे पापा मम्मी मेरे घर में. बोलना है कि सब कुछ भी नहीं होगा लेकिन पहले खाना है ना. सोना गहना भी भेज दो लेकिन खाना पहले. चिकन मटन के बिना तो चलता नहीं था घर है ना. तो we used to have so much of food. बहुत खाते थे. क्वांटिटी भी बहुत ज्यादा खाते थे. तो ये आके खाना नहीं मिल रहा है. तो फर्स्ट आई रिमेम्बर पहला कॉल मुझे मिला फोन में. आई वाज क्राइंग लाइक हाउ आर यू बोल के ना मेरी बहन से बात कर रहे हैं एंड मैंने रोना कंटिन्यूअसली चल रहा है. मैं एम क्राइंग एंड क्राइंग नॉट एबल टू रेजिस्ट इट. And so it's good, I think. After that, of course, time changed slowly and slowly. You get used to a lot of things. But I'll say, बहुत ही अच्छी थी वो. That phase is very nice.
And after this training of 1 year, where were you posted?
So I was initially posted to Pathankot.
Okay.
Pathankot is in Punjab.
Yeah.
But then my area of responsibility was up to Jammu.
Okay.
So Jammu
And generally, so army officer, when I say, because I don't have much knowledge being a layman, so when you were posted, whether you had any team to manage under you or you were the most junior.
So of course I'll correlate it with an police. Probably you see them on a day-to-day life. So every police officer is posted to a battalion, right? So an IPS officer getting posted is posted to a battalion.
Yeah.
He is a part of the battalion. Similar army officer is also posted to a battalion.
Yeah.
Right. So when you say battalion, that means you are managing the entire company. Infantry battalion has almost 850 odd people.
Okay.
To manage.
Okay.
There are almost 45 other SI sub-inspector, inspector rank people. They are called Subedars and Subedar majors.
Got it.
Right. They are there. Below them there are Havaldars. Right. And there are Sipawis.
So you're freshly passed out maybe at the age of 24, 25?
24.
Yeah.
Passed out.
And you are managing 50 people.
No, it's like almost you are in response. So you have different appointments.
Yeah.
Like for example, police, you say appointments as deputy commissioner of police or assistant commissioner of police, or you talk about somebody is law and order, somebody is into cyber. Similarly, you have also appointments. So what responsibilities are assigned? For example, you are the adjutant. You have to manage the entire battalion of 850 people. You are responsible for the day-to-day activities.
Yeah.
Right. You are a quartermaster. You are managing the supply chain management for the entire people.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a company commander, you're managing almost 150, 160 people there. Right. You are a MTO, mechanical transport officer. You are managing the entire fleet of vehicles for them.
Yeah.
Almost 60, 70 odd people around. You're going to manage them. Right. 64, 65 vehicles are there. Entire fleet for these people you're going to manage. So by and large, you're managing the entire population there.
Yeah.
So you are in charge of everything. You are in charge of human resource. You are in charge of operations. You're in charge of engineering. You are in charge of administration. In charge of
So basically, a CEO for a small company.
Yes, exactly, and that is how.
And at the age of 24.
Yes. So initially you are under mentors who are seniors.
Yeah.
But then you are acting CEO.
For that specific unit, you are acting as a CEO.
And you are CEO.
So, like about your army days, you were like around 6 years. So, what were key, like you can say, key challenges? So, were you part of some insurgencies or like some major operation, something?
Yeah, see, Pathankot, post Pathankot, I went to infantry school now for my some higher education. Then I did my commando trainings. After commando training, I was posted back to Jammu and Kashmir. It was a CI counter-insurgency operations and also the line of control.
Okay.
So I used to manage both the aspects of the operations.
Got it.
And it was very tough. The terrain is tough. The enemies are not defined, and the climate is not well, and you don't know the hostile population. Somebody is friendly or hostile. So at the face of it, and there is enemy beyond the line of control or across the borders. So with all these challenges, you have to manage, and you also have to keep the morale of your troops very high. And in force, we call that the duty and responsibilities or our obligations towards the men comes first. We have something called Chetul Credo, and it speaks about on those similar lines, where your responsibility towards your men comes first.
Yeah.
You need to protect them. While you lead them into war, you need to protect their interests. You need to protect their safety. You should ensure that the safety is not compromised.
Yeah.
So you are not the first in line.
So difficult situation, difficult job.
Difficult situation, difficult job, and you in army you need to earn respect.
Yeah.
People may give you salute, but it will be a half-hearted salute. The moment you earn their trust and the respect, that is the day you have succeeded.
Got it.
It takes some time for you to build that rapport. The moment you build that rapport, you are treated the way like a king.
And rank wise, like you got promotions because you served 6 years. So how many promotions you got?
So see, in army there is a structure of promotions. Like
So you joined at what level?
I started as a lieutenant.
As a lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
And then
Yeah.
what is the next
Then
level?
is a captain, then is a
Okay.
major, and then is
Okay.
lieutenant colonels, colonel, brigadiers.
And generally, how many years it take for
So to
promotion?
become from a lieutenant to captain 2 years,
Okay.
from captain to major another 4 years.
Okay.
But however, I was in the CI operations, counter insurgency operation in Kashmir. I think at 3 years of service, I was promoted to I was putting on the major rank.
Okay.
Uh,
Basically within 3 years, two promotions kind of. So
Yeah, I
major.
got the promotion because that was a need of the hour, and they felt that probably I could shoulder more responsibilities. So it is good for me at a
Nice.
young age taking more responsibilities. But yeah, it was good, I'll say.
So let's speak more about money around the
Okay.
army right now.
Sure.
So, like when you joined, like if you can speak about how much money you used to get.
Okay, money has been a problem. I told you my initial journey struggles during my school, college days.
Whether they were there during army days as well, like how
Army
much army
days-
pays you when you joined? Like,
Army days,
at
the basic
lieutenant
was
level?
8,250 when I joined.
Oh,
That was across all the Group A officers pay scale.
Hmm.
Basic was 8,250.
How much used to be in hand of?
In and 19,000 rupees.
And that is which year?
And that was in 2007 I'm talking about.
Then within that you have to manage your family back home.
Well, that was again a big question. I didn't have a house of my own.
Oh.
So back in my village, my father was a teacher, but then he had a lot of obligations towards the family. He didn't have money to build a house or something. So and then when we were in a rented house initially, we didn't have anything actually when we started in college. It was just a mat and two pillows and what you call few pressure cookers, utensils,
Got
and
it.
a stove.
Oh.
And that is how we started our journey in staying in the in a smaller town. And over the time, we had a black and white TV. We know that Onita TV came up. Few plastic chairs came up, and then a mobile phone was there when I was in PG, of course. So I've seen that struggles myself. And the first intention when I joined army was to have a house where my parents can stay.
Yeah.
So the first thing I took a loan from Oriental Bank at the time, very high interest rates. I was paying 30,250 every month. So I didn't have much to spare for myself.
But your income was, you were saying somewhere around 18, 19.
I used to manage with that, so it was struggle actually. At times we were so short of money because the family had some more requirements. Whatever DSOP, we call it DSOP, I mean the PF you're talking about. We had an option to draw it. I
Okay.
used to draw it very frequently. Every year I used to draw it because I didn't have money.
Got it.
And the DN arrears sometimes used to come up, but whatever I used to get, I used to send money because people back home needed money.
Yeah, yeah.
So my sister was studying that time. My father had a lot of obligations. So I was the one who was supplying. So I didn't have a source to save money as such. I could not save money that point in time.
And when you left army at a major rank, what was the income like? How much money you used to get then?
So I think almost 50 or 1,000 rupees, but then 35, 40 almost take home was. what I used to
Okay,
get.
that is still low, I guess, in
Very
terms
less,
of as
very
compared to
less.
corporate that time.
Yes, it's very less, but I think still it was better than.
But-
after the 6th pay commission, things were better than the 7th pay commission.
So
came
now
up.
you feel like army people are getting paid.
Now
as
they're
in-
getting paid.
at-
Yes, now they're getting paid really nice.
Okay.
I think there's some corrections has happened over the pay scales over time. 5th pay commission, 6th pay commission, 7th pay commission. I think 8th or 9th pay commission has also come. So now they're getting a handsome salary.
So do you get pension or some other benefits from army now?
pensionable job. You need to serve for 20 years. For
Okay.
officer, for a Jawan, it is 17 years. I think I left quite early. Yes, I get the ex-serviceman status. I get the canteen services facilities. I get medical facilities and ECHS facilities where you can enroll yourself. I get those facilities. Of course, you being an ex-serviceman and being an officer, so whenever you go back to army, you are respected well in the society as such.
Yeah.
In Indian context, you are considered well, respect is given to you.
Yeah.
I think those are good things to have, whatever you have.
Let's now we'll move over to the second phase. So move from army to corporate life. So how did you decide first? So you left army quite early. What was the reason for that, and how did corporate life happen?
Yeah, so I realized, of course, there were some operational challenges that are there. I don't want to discuss on this more. But yeah, on the contractual part, initially, when in Source Service Commission, we have an option to quit after a couple of
Yeah.
years. I was doing well in my career, but then I thought maybe I can do better outside. Initially, I had an intention to start an NGO then, without realizing the financial nitty-gritties of what it takes to build that. Uh, but I thought, okay, I'll plunge into an NGO moment I leave. But I realized the corporate world was not so good
Receptive
to
of all
receive
this.
you. Yeah, so it's not receptive. Rather, I realized I applied for NGOs initially, I did not get through. Because the amount they're paying was very difficult to sustain even. And so I said, kaisa hoga? And meanwhile, Army also helps you for a transition of career. I went to IIM Indore from 12 to 13. I studied there.
Okay. What
That
course?
that is in the business management.
Okay.
I did business management study. It's a residential course.
Okay.
To study there, it's really a good transitional approach where you get to know the business nitty-gritties well.
Nice.
Got campus recruited, went to join in manufacturing setup.
Okay.
The first job that I would have, I was paid almost 10 odd lakhs rupees as the initial salary.
I think good as compared to what you were getting in army.
It was still good. It was good. It was good actually. It was better. But then still, I felt that probably I should have got more. But
in terms
I
of of course, I feel like because 6 years of efforts
Yes.
outside,
It's because people don't realize,
Hmm.
they don't understand what an army officer is capable of.
yeah.
It took me some time, this years of journey, 12 years of
So
corporate
your
experience.
first job, because I have seen your corporate, your corporate work experience, you have moved across the role. So
Yes.
if you can talk more about how you transition, what skills it took you.
Yeah, see, it takes some time for you to understand the market, understand how the corporate behaves actually. Unfortunately, in Indian context, they don't realize what an army officer is capable of. You fit an army officer into anything, he'll do the best. He will be better than your rest of the guys, that I can always bet. If not better, he will be at par with them. Right? So an army officer puts his mind, heart, soul into the work that he is given entrusted. He has the highest level of integrity
Yeah.
that
of
you
course.
will rarely find. Is a dedicated guy. He will speak the truth. To accept him, and then groom him a little on the corporate way.
Yeah.
If the corporates nowadays, the corporates are opening up, particularly American MNCs are very open. They have created a lot of openings for army veterans
Nice.
because they understand the hidden potential that these veterans have to offer.
Oh, nice.
Indian MNCs have to start realizing that.
So American MNC is giving more job to our
Yes.
Indian army
Yes,
officers in
because
India.
Indian MNCs are foreign, the American MNCs situated in India have created jobs for
Nice.
Indian veterans.
Nice.
When you go to US, you'll find a lot of veteran jobs,
Mhm.
right? Nowadays, the openings are more. Nowadays, because they have started realizing the potential of a veteran, or an army officer, or navy officer, or an air force officer in that case.
Got it.
Every defense officer comes with a huge potential. He's technically well, he's morally sound, he's very good strategist. You talk about strategy, he'll beat everyone in strategy. You talk about automation, he'll think out of the blue. You think about engineering, he'll create things for you. You talk about administration, management, project management, you put him into any role.
Let's speak more about the roles. Like you have worked with different corporates into different roles. So you have worked as head of HR, you have worked as a compliance officer, you have worked as a fraud crime prevention specialist, so a compliance officer, and different roles. So like, how did you manage within these roles, not having that professional qualification or professional experience?
See, I always love learning. I always felt that I can be better. It was always from day one to become a better version of myself. I realized some jobs are very, what do you say, repetitive in nature. There's no excitement. So, started with one job, I realized that what more can I do? There's no creativity, there's no excitement. Which job is better? But then corporates don't accept it, and you have very limited work to do. Over the time, I realized what it takes to switch on to the next role.
Got
What additional skills that I should have.
it.
I've always tried to learn. I've been learning continuously.
Learning on the job, or you did professional
Learning
courses?
on the job. Learning on the job. Most of the courses, much of the certification you see, even to that LLB also, I've studied myself.
So you did LLB, yeah. So I was coming to that. You did LLB recently, like a couple of years back. So what was the motivation for that?
It's very interesting story, and I used to be threat operations, head at Zomato, managing the entire South India, but also supporting for the rest of the India. So some fraud happened in the company. I was investigating its financial fraud. I was told to lodge a complaint. I was filing complaints. Police were not receptive as usual. Had to speak to higher authorities to get this process. There were ego clashes because they were not ready, and then getting orders from the seniors, they behave very differently. A police inspector misbehaved because I told him the legalities of why it should be taken into consideration, and he was not ready for it. He gave me some gyan, and I said, should I confront him? Because I didn't have the authority to confront him because he's talking of legal. So, but I said, maybe I'm wrong. That was the question mark that came onto me. Then I felt very humiliated at that point in time. I said, what it takes me to get over this? If today I was a lawyer, I would told him, shut up, I know better things than you. You should not be teaching me this. I'm a lawyer. I said I shouldn't be a leader. That motivated me.
So just one incident make you enroll in LLB and just do a course like at this age.
That actually was a trigger, and it helped me.
That is a very strong commitment, because like I don't think I would be able to, or anyone around me, like just from one incident putting 3 years and like along with the job, along
And
with the
from
full-time
there
job.
on, actually, it's not LLB. I started reading a lot about legalities.
Okay.
I was reading a lot about legalities. I was reading a lot of case laws. I was following the legal news very closely. Was talking to a lot of legal professionals. So there's a point in time I had hired 50 or 50 plus professionals when I was in different roles to support me if there were disruptions or problems across India. As country head, security and investigations, any legal issues coming up, cyber issues coming up, I used to get a lot of support from legalities. So litigation, I'm already into it. And at the current role, I also handle the consumer legal because of the experiences I've gathered
over the time,
couple of years. Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so right now, in your current role as a like into FCP, fraud crime prevention or financial crime prevention, so you are heading I think 50-60 odd people here as well. So how different it is than your army days in terms of leading a troop of army and leading a troop of corporates?
Well, there's a huge difference. Corporates, people are open to express, people are open to switch on to different jobs they don't like. Army, you don't have an option, right? You have, and there's a lot of motivation involved. Army is not a job; it's a passion. People are very passionate about what they're doing. They know that the entire purpose is serving the country, the motherland. Here, it is not there. You try n number of motivational things for them. Still, also some people don't absorb it well. You are very transparent to them. Still, also people will doubt your intentions. You try to do the best and put them first. Still, also people don't acknowledge that. So probably there's a lot of trust issues in the corporate, and it's across. I think it's across the hierarchy. And it is there. It's not about one corporate or any definite corporate. I've seen it over the last 12 years. There's a problem here.
So basically, the trust issues.
Trust issues has been there. A lot of people try to, what you call
corporate politics.
Corporate politics has a lot of role to play. People try to case you. As you come and speak that role, it will play it against you. While you know that I'm trying to be very open to you, transparent to you, that will go against you. So those are challenges there. So you have to actually manage and navigate very, very carefully.
So I think you have navigated quite well in terms of transitioning your life from army
It
to
took me
corporate
some
world.
time to understand this. Initially, I was struggling, but I think today I understand it more better.
Got it. So let's come back more on the finances current day than the army days. So army days, I know, has been difficult life, but you navigated that way. How do you identify yourself as financially independent right now? So I mean to say, if you want, can you retire today?
Yes, interesting question. I'll say I'm better off today, but I think since my career, my journey started, the financial savings and investment started very late, so I have a lot of obligations. I don't think I am ready to retire immediately, but yeah, if you ask me this question 2 years, 3 years down the line, I'll be more comfortable.
Got it.
Yeah.
So another 2-3 years and you will be free bird if you want to be.
Yes, that's correct. I think my investments are channelized now.
Got
I've
it.
invested in multiple areas, starting from real estate to.
So if you want to be a portfolio mix, like how much percent into equities, how much percent into real
So of
estate?
course, see, I wanted a fixed source of income for me, even if I tomorrow I'm jobless or do something. So I have invested in real estate. I purchased some houses. wherein I get a fixed source of income
Got it.
every month. That is
And that is like what location generally you
So the
prefer?
city is Bangalore, and then
Okay,
in my
nice.
hometown is a city again town. So I
Okay.
invested there. So there is a fixed
So into
income
plots
source.
and houses.
Houses and plots.
Okay.
I have invested. So I know and appreciates the plots appreciates really well. I realized it very late, but then I started investing whatever I could do. The houses give me a fixed source of income for monthly maintenance, whatever expenses would be in case I am jobless tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then there are investment for equities,
Mm.
which will give me a long term. There are NPSs
So
like
you invest into SIPs or like directly stocks?
no, I don't invest in stocks
Okay.
because stocks like usually you need to monitor it very frequently.
Yeah.
Probably I'm not in position I want to. Rather, I more I see the market and I see understand that good equities which has given dividends over long run. So I'm invested in equities or mutual funds. And then a few ULIP plans also for short term goals.
Hmm.
Then there are some for my I have a small daughter of 5 years. I planned for her schoolings, for her futuristic career,
Nice.
Sukanya Samriddhi, a lot of things. Then there are term insurances which I've invested on to have a secured life for them in case there is a contingency.
Got it.
And it also comes with some returns over a couple of years. So it is a mixed, I can call it. And there are some savings for emergency funds.
How about the insurance cover?
Yeah, so insurance coverage, I think I have covered quite well.
So in terms of your term plan,
Term plan is minimum 2 crore
Okay.
investment insurance coverage is there.
okay.
For
About the
now.
health cover,
Health cover again, additional cover is there,
okay.
and whatever the company is
Yeah,
giving
company
me.
cover will be there.
In top of that, I've taken a health coverage. In
And
case-
you must be having some RB benefits around this. as
RB
well?
benefits we have an ECHS plan wherein you need to give a subscription token.
Okay.
After that, that gets activated.
Got it.
Of course, but I have not gone now. If required, I'll go there.
Okay.
But yeah, I have taken a backup. Of
Okay.
course, if tomorrow you don't have a job.
And how much is the cover? Health cover. you have?
Health coverage, I have almost 20 lakhs
Okay.
of coverage. I also have a coverage of almost 30 lakhs for my parents because they're old. So they are covered that way.
Got it.
So I think I've invested in all of this to take care of any accidents that may come up.
And have you taken help of any financial planner or like to have this in a
I-
structured way?
Yeah, I've spoken to multiple people, but today I feel I'm more enlightened. I am
Okay.
more informed,
Got it.
and I understand the mix well.
Got it.
Because I think every person has different priorities. I think it cannot go in a certain way. And I realize that probably what suits me the best, basis that I have planned things. If, for example, I say I want to open an NGO, do we have a plot of land for that?
Yeah.
So it will be an investment also. It will be a plot of land for me. That way I can build
Yeah.
something.
Right.
So that way I plan and structure myself.
Got it.
And for example, I have not much dependence. For example, my parents are living in some ancestral property. I know I'll be able to sustain them. But can I, what should I do with my daughter? Can I give her a good education?
Hmm.
How should I make her life better?
Got
So
it.
that's an informed and it's
So-
a planned approach.
Yeah, just another scheme. What I have heard, the Agnipath scheme. So how does it help to army guys, or does it help you as well right now?
See, Agnipath is a wonderful scheme. People have their different thoughts around this. To understand, the vacancies in army are lot. Why? Because either people are not motivated to join, or even if they are motivated, they are not selected because of army has certain QRs. You need to fit into them, then only you get selected. Now, Agnipath is an additional vacancy. Why? Because for filling up those vacancies,
Okay.
army has taken a little lighter approach.
Got it.
Said okay, even if it doesn't meet the entire criteria, still we'll consider few of them
Okay.
and we'll induct them into army, train them. If they are doing better, we'll absorb them. So it is a lateral scheme in addition
Nice.
to what is existing.
Okay.
So
Got
there
it.
is no loss here.
So
People are
what
thinking that
sort of people they look after? What is the how can you go into this?
Agnipath schemes are for the soldier level,
Okay.
entry levels, right?
Okay.
So soldiers, like the way we hire soldiers in the regular scheme.
Okay.
Similarly, Agnipath scheme is another scheme.
Okay.
But then you here, if you do well, they find you good, they'll absorb you into mainstream.
Got it.
If not, then you are given some, all the support. Now the government is really supporting.
Got it.
They will plan for some alternate option for you to help you settle down. And once you are trained in army, you are a better person irrespective.
Got
Why are so much of you in crime and other countries have a 5-year compulsory scheme for every person?
Yeah.
So this helps you to become a better version of yourself.
Got it. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So moving back towards, I would rather say end of the question. So where do you see yourself in next 5 or 10 years? So any specific plans or any specific goals you have in mind?
See, as I said, my plan is to give back to the society. So I look myself serving the people well, taking care of the orphans, downtrodden children, the old age people. Shape the future of the small child, probably who don't have parents. I think I feel that with all the competencies that I've accumulated over the years and with my training in the army, I envision myself that I am the right kind of mentor that would actually help shape up their future well. And I aspire to be, and I feel that my all my energy and dedication is towards that.
I think that is absolutely like very nice to hear. It has been great having you on the podcast because learning from your journey, the struggle days, how you have channeled your energy over the time, the graduation days, and then the corporate, how you have navigated. I think quite learning for me, and of course for the viewers like who will be viewing this. I think that is quite a lot of motivation and also the financial struggles. So I think what I've learned basically more than the financial planning, also the upskilling what you've done, that is also kind of investment what people
Yes.
do nowadays and what one must do. So upskilling at a various level of time, I think that is very fabulous, and I think I will take away that from you.
Thank you so much. I think adaptability is the key. You need to adaptable at every situation. It's not about life. It's also about a career. It's also about your day-to-day, functioning. One needs to be very adaptable to situations and
Yeah.
accordingly shape up his journey and path.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Shubhendu, being on the podcast. And yeah, of course, we'll catch up again.
It's a pleasure, Kalpit. Thank you so much.